So I am so excited to introduce my dear friend, Cheryl Chapman, who runs our Annuity Center out of St. Louis. Cheryl, welcome.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to learn everything there is to know about annuities today. So I guess give us some background. How long have you been in the annuity field?
So I've been in the annuities for 19 years. Before that, I started with life insurance at age 17. So it's been 30, almost 40 years, right? Started when I was 5, right?
Right.
So it's been a long time.
And so with us working with our agents who are writing annuities, I guess probably one of the first things that a new agent would ask is, how do I get started? Do I have to have a special license? Are there special certifications or anything like that? Can you give us some background on that?
Sure. So the first thing is you want to have your life and health license, right? You also have state certifications. So each state requires it's the NAI suitability and best interest. So most of the states are now include the best interest. So you can take that through Reg Ed, ClearCert, wherever you take your certifications. The next thing is your anti-money laundering, which is normal. Your errors and omissions, your E&O. And then once we determine what carrier you're going to do, then you would have a product training, which is usually very educational regarding the carrier's products.
Okay, great. So there are different types of annuities. What are some of the different types of annuities? I know we don't do variable.
Correct. So variable annuities we don't do. We do fixed annuities, index annuities, and SPIA, which is income annuities. You don't need your license, your Series 6 or 26. You can sell any of the annuities that we offer.
Okay.
Just
and
your regular
what does
license.
SPIA stand for?
Single premium income or immediate annuity.
Okay. How do those work?
So a lot of times, let me just kind of give an example of why someone would use a SPIA. So if someone is retiring and they have their 401k account, a lot of people will see, okay, will you guys, the carrier, give us more income than what their 401k, and they'll move their 401k to where they generate a monthly income for the rest of their life.
Okay. And then what are the other types?
So there's SPDA, which is a single preferred deferred annuity. So basically that is a single premium, which you can do with just $5,000. So if somebody wants to start one just with $5,000 up to $3 million per household. Single preferred deferred annuity, SPDA. So basically you give a lump sum to the carrier for an interest rate, kind of like a CD.
Okay.
Except it's tax deferred.
That's what the deferred part means.
That's right.
Got it. Okay. And do they start collecting an immediate income off of those, or do you usually?
Yeah, so that's deferred. So basically right now we have like a 5-year paying 5%. So you're deferring it for 5 years, 5% each year.
Got it. And then the third is an indexed?
So it's a fixed index. It's an FIA. So a fixed index annuity. So you choose a strategy. You're not in the market, but it's based off the market for a potential higher rate, and you cannot lose principal. And you're deferring it again.
So on an index, that interest rate can fluctuate from year to year?
Yes.
Okay. And I guess as far as the history of annuities, I mean, I'm sure you've been around for some phenomenal years and some years that maybe we don't like to talk about as much. What's the highest interest rate you've ever seen paid out on an annuity?
So probably when I first started, it was like 6.8. Now, I will say, I guess it was last year or the year before, they did get up to 6. Right now, they're in the 5s, 5.3, depending on your deposit. So right now is a good time because everybody should have an annuity in their portfolio. Not all of their money, but at least a portion.
Okay, great. So who do you think that an annuity is best suited for?
Really it is, people think of when you're going to retire, right? An annuity retirement, but really it's for anybody. is suited for an annuity, whether you're young, middle age, older, because it is a low risk guarantee interest rate. Just like your CDs, tax deferred, you can't go wrong with a portion of your funds. And there's no underwriting for an annuity. It's all based on suitability. So you always want to make sure your client has enough liquid assets for any emergencies because this money is tied up. It does allow for free withdrawals, but usually it's interest only or 10%.
So there are annuities. I know you and I had talked about this before, where you can start out with a lower deposit and continue to put like an IRA where you're putting money into it ongoing.
Yeah, so what a lot of people are doing, because you don't have pensions anymore, companies are not offering pensions. You create your own pension plan. You can do as little as $100 a month. It's a flexible, deferred annuity. EFT comes right out of your account, so you're creating your own retirement account.
And do you see people using that for not just their own retirement, but I think we had talked at one point with maybe some college, saving up for college.
Yes. Yep. It just depends on who the owner is, because if it's considered qualified money, if you take it out before the age 59 and a half, you're going to get that extra tax. So as far as the college, you want to do more like a 529I.
So to wrap things up, why should an agent be selling annuities, looking into annuities and doing that certification so that they can sell annuities?
Well, first of all, it's a new form of generate revenue, right? And everybody wants to retire or, have retirement income. Social Security is usually not enough, right? Another way, let me just throw this in, another way that people are using annuities is if somebody wants to retire maybe at an earlier age, but they want to maximize their Social Security, which is like 72 and a half. They'll take an annuity for that income during just that period of time to get them to where they can maximize their Social Security. But everyone could use it in their portfolio because it is guaranteed, it's low risk, and stability. That's what it's about.
So the great news is you're available to talk to our agents at any time. We have a toll-free number that's dedicated to you, 1-800-650-4521. And if they have any questions, I know that we have so many agents that have loved working with you because you are able to keep things simple and be able to explain the products and the process and very well. And the other great thing I would say about annuities is they get issued really quickly, don't they?
They do. Yeah, as long as there's not a transfer. Sometimes the transfer carrier where the money's coming from, there might be a delay. But most of the time, it could be submitted, issued, and paid within a week.
That's great news for agents. That means commissions are there quickly. So.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me.